Overcoming task saturation with fighter pilot precision. You can do it in your offices, you can do it in your teams, and you can get your teams back on track. Task saturation is something that can significantly decrease team productivity. Having people on the team who are actually paralyzed, they no longer know how to get tasks done, and obviously results are going to decline. These people have had an extended period of time where they have been multitasking. Perhaps there's been a deadline or an event or some particular project result that they've been working towards, and they've been working really, really hard. But they haven't taken care of themselves in that process, and now they're actually paralyzed and no longer can work effectively. Fighter pilots often die relaxed, and the reason why they die relaxed is because they have been trained to cope with task saturation. Imagine it, fighter pilots flying at 1900 miles an hour in the sky, shooting guns, looking at their dashboard at 350 instruments, making sure their fuel injection is happening in a timely manner, and listening to radio signals all the while. There's a lot going on, and there's a lot that they're juggling. And because they have been trained to deal with all of that juggling, they die relaxed because they know how to cope with it. So you can too, and here's how you can do it. First of all, in your team, look to see if there's signs of task saturation happening. For instance, one way people cope with task saturation is they quit, basically. These are the people that get up from their desk in the middle of the afternoon and they go for a walk or they go have a coffee. You know what? They are the least dangerous people because they've actually physically shown you that they can't cope anymore. Then there are compartmentalizers. Compartmentalizers are a little bit dangerous to a team because they look really, really busy. They're doing a number of things. This could be sort of the receptionist that's sitting at her desk and she's organizing files and she's working on the computer and she's answering phones, but yet there's people sitting in the waiting room who haven't been served. So they look like they're busy, but they're not really doing anything. Or they're not doing what they should be doing, which is the effective processing of customers to people in the back of the office. And then there's channelizers. Channelizers are really, really, really dangerous. They're the people who can only deal with one thing at a time. So in a particular instance, you may ask them a question, but if it's not in the channel that they're dealing with right now, they're not going to be able to answer you. And that's sort of risky too. So a lot of projects can fall off the map as they're working down one channel. So the first thing that you need to do is look on your team to see if you have task saturation happening. And the second thing to do is then sit down and deal with it. And how you sit down and deal with it is, number one, you bring it to the awareness of the person who's suffering from it. The second thing is that you put cross-checks in with the other people in the team so that you make sure that double checks are happening on projects so that you don't get off course.